Hello friends, welcome to our energy update for the month of March. If you're new here to this channel, I'm Brandy with Falcon Healing Arts, and at the beginning of each month we do these divination sessions together to help us tune into the energy in the world that we're all influenced by, seasonally too. I definitely want to talk about that today since we are influenced by the energy of spring that is here already, especially here in California where we're seeing all the blossoms bloom. So we'll get into that, but this is also intuitively guided. So anyone who is following my channel here, I'm asking that the information that comes through is appropriate for all of us. So hopefully it will resonate with you. And with that, let's get into this. So the month of March has a lot of excited energy around it, but it is bordering on anxiety. And I know a lot about anxiety, not only from the work that I do with women and families. Really, I've worked with kids too who have anxiety. Definitely the anxiety that I've experienced in my life as an entrepreneur, a healing practitioner, and also a homeschooling mom. But interesting thing you may want to know is I actually did an essay, a really long essay on the word anxiety when I was in high school. And I totally remember this because it was one of those pivotal moments in my life where I started to think deeper about things. And what's really interesting about the word anxiety is that it is misunderstood. And I think when people say that they're anxious, what they're really feeling is fear. Because anxiety is more of an excitement. It is looking forward to the future, but being a little nervous about it. So, like if you're going to this big social event and you're eager to meet people there, but you want to make the right impression. It's something that you really want to do, but you're afraid you're going to mess it up. Like there is this element of fear in there that makes you a bit nervous, but you move forward with it because the excitement is bigger than the fear. And usually when we're talking about anxiety, we're looking into the future. It's the future that is making us anxious, not usually what we're experiencing in the present, usually not what we are thinking about in the past, although the past experiences can flavor your attitude about the future. So it's definitely all wrapped up and can mess up the mind because the mind is really what is creating this anxiety. And so this big message that I really want to hit home here for March is that we are in control of how we are responding to the world. And if you find that you are anxious, there are many tools that you can use to keep it under control, and definitely a lot of mindset work where you can pause and be like, okay, is this anxiety teaching me something? Am I not on the right path? Because that is something else that it may indicate. And then try to realign yourself so that you are following your excitement instead. So March, this energy of spring that we have coming, the building full moon, so it is waxing at this point. We have a lot of energy behind us. And in traditional Chinese medicine too, this is a pivotal time. This is the beginning of the new year, really, where we have this youthful, vibrant energy. This is when we get things done. So if you had New Year's resolutions, if you've been following me since then, I was saying, it's good to plan at this point. It's good to dream. Even make a plan of action, but don't feel like you need to be under pressure to execute it. But now, now that you have the energy supporting you, now is the time to execute. and see if you can do it with that energy of excitement supporting you. Remember that when you are on your life path, we are divinely supported. And it's like there's this nudge, this push from behind. So remember what that is. Remember that this is your higher self. This is your spiritual nature that is moving you forward in your life. Okay? Let's see. Anything else I wanted to say? Because I always like to talk about the general energy that we're all feeling. Like everyone in the world is most likely feeling this energy of spring coming, this momentum that is moving us. I also wanted to mention, and we talk about this a lot in traditional Chinese medicine, that when we are resisting this movement, when we are digging our heels in, that will build up anger. It will build up frustration. It will create stagnation energetically in the body when we are feeling compelled to do something, but the fear is holding us back. You will start to feel that build up in the body. So the best you can, see if you can relax into it. Go with the flow, especially if you are feeling like you are being nudged forward to do something. Meet that fear, because most likely when you do this thing and you move past it, you'll see that it was well worth it. And that fear was just this transition of moving into something new. And when we do that enough times, it's not going to be as fearful. You're not going to be as anxious. Think of all the things that you've done in your life where you were apprehensive to begin with. And then once you really got used to it, you got the practice, it was so easy. And that's how it is with these videos now. Like, of course, when I started doing them, I was terrified, but I was excited because I had a message to share. So the excitement was bigger than the anxiety and the fear that was creating that. So think about examples in your life where you did that. Remember that, and it will help you as you're moving forward into this new growth, into this new way of being in the world. New year, new you is right now. Okay. Yeah, so we're feeling this increasing yang energy, we call it in Chinese medicine, this increasing flow. I also want to get into some tarot cards that I pulled. This gives us a lot more details about what we're experiencing. Again, for all of you who are watching this video, this is hopefully resonating with you, because that's what I was trying to tap into, what we need in this moment, you and I. Okay, so the first card, well, let me just show them all to you first, because there is a theme here. We have the Five of Pentacles, we have the Moon, and we have the Three of Pentacles. And so 2 Pentacles cards. Pentacles usually refers to, at least with this deck, which is the Star Tarot by Kathy McClellan, that at least in this deck, Pentacles relates to earthbound energy, physical energy. So material items, it refers to the body, it refers to our work, things that we are trying to bring into being. So this is very much about creating something tangible this month. So we're no longer in thoughts and ideas and the planning and creating, but we are bringing into being. We are manifesting from spirit down into the earth. So we have to remember that we are spiritual beings. Not all of us need to be living this deeply spiritual lifestyle like that of a healer, but we all, I believe, do need to come to terms to realize that we are spiritual beings. If we're not feeling a relationship with the divine, we're most likely not going to have a very enjoyable life. It will feel like we're doing things all by ourselves, and it can be very challenging. It can be very challenging not only for your physical health, but mental, emotional as well, because it's spirit that supports it all. And really, it's the energy that we feel between each other and everything we experience here on earth that is connected to spirit. So even if you're just interested in energy work, that will link you to the divine as well. And why am I mentioning this? I don't know. I started going on this train of thought. Um, but yeah, so manifesting from spirit down, because sometimes, I think this is where I was going, sometimes there needs to be this ascension of energy, that we're so involved with the material world that we need to be opening up. But for those of you who are very connected, and maybe even feel a bit spacey, too much in your head, then the energy of this month is pulling all that down. So grounding is extremely important. Okay, so let's get into the specifics of the cards here. So with the Five of Pentacles, first of all, the number 5 in tarot, and again, especially in this deck, I'm not a tarot expert, but I am very connected to this deck in particular. Number 5 can be a very challenging card. It usually indicates that there is some challenge, that there is some loss maybe that we're dealing with, some intensity in our life. Maybe we are being shown that we are not on the right path, and this is shown to us in a way that's very uncomfortable and disappointing. So you might be feeling that energy now. So I pulled this card first, and usually the first card is what we may be feeling, and then we're moving to where we could be by the end of the month if we are following all this intuitive guidance. So just know that you're not alone if you are feeling this energy of just being a little lost at the moment, or dealing with challenges and difficulties. But of course, these difficulties teach us something, and they build strength, they build confidence. And so this card, because it's with the Pentacles, it can indicate material loss, maybe financial loss. We're still dealing with this impending recession that some of us would argue has already been here, and trying to change the way that we're spending, what we're valuing things, what we're spending money on. So maybe you're trying to figure that out. Maybe you've been trying to bring some work into the world that hasn't been feeling right. There have been things I've been trying to do, and the timing just wasn't right. So that has been disappointing. It could also be worries about your health, relationship. These are all earthly things, family life too. So if you're feeling any challenges around that now, that is what this energy is. But again, when we acknowledge it, when we see that there might be a lesson that is being taught to us, then there is growth following. So we move through this and we experience this new growth. So consider, what is this situation teaching me? How can I redirect? How can I relate in a different way? And if you need any help with that, I would love to hear about it in the comments below, and maybe I will have some ideas to help you, or just help you process. Journaling, of course, is one of the best ways to really get answers if you are doing this yourself. So remember that when we are dealing with, when we're not feeling abundant too, that's what this card can indicate as well. Because you see that this man, he looks like he's homeless. that he's packed up all these things and all of his worldly things, and he's moving forward into the world to find something new. But he has this spirit companion, this power animal spirit in the form of a wolf. So very powerful. He has this behind him, walking next to him. And so it could feel like you're not abundant, but you are valuing what you have inside. So this is the time where you really get to know what it is that you value, what it is that makes your life precious and feel abundant on the inside. This is what is going to help you move forward. And again, remembering that you have this spiritual support all around you. And then there will be an opportunity to expand, and you will start to see this abundance come into your life in a very tangible way. So again, sometimes misfortunes happen just to show us that we have not been aligned, and it's an opportunity to redirect. Okay, next we have the moon. And the moon is a very special card, of course. There's so many interpretations of this card and of the moon. The moon refers to just one of the ways we're reminded that life is cyclical. It's related to our feminine nature, our monthly cycle, us women. It's related to our more yin, receptive nature. It shines in the dark, so it is this guide in the darkness. It's also very mysterious and related to our emotions, to even psychic abilities, and just to the mysteries of the world. So when this card comes up, it can relate to all those things. Also dreams. So if you've been having a lot of dreams, I have as well. The moon is influencing that, of course, but also this card is telling us that there is this extra influence on these areas of our lives. And it's reminding me too to remember that we are becoming more courageous as we're moving through the darkness. So I'll put a close-up of this card, but you can see that there are crows or ravens, I'm not sure, on either side of this, what looks like a crayfish. And then above that, there's two wolves howling at the moon, white and black, so yin and yang, a duality. And then there's this path leading into dark woods. But then beyond that, there's this hill. It actually looks like a golden pyramid with a very clear lit path moving up to the moon. So it's a path we need to traverse. It's a path we need to move through, knowing that there is something brighter on the other side. And to appreciate the mysterious nature of the unseen too, what we're not seeing here in the woods. Does your mind automatically go to darkness, to negativity when you see that an area is dark? Like what if all this darkness inside brings about this huge revelation that actually brings about more light and more excitement, as we've been talking about inside. Darkness creates space. So we shouldn't always think of darkness as being negative, is really what I am feeling from this too. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to bring something new into being. So reflect on that. And reflection is also what the moon does. It is reflecting the sunlight to us in the darkness. And the author of this deck, she has a wonderful quote I want to share with you about this card. She says, "The moon reflects the sun. We reflect the divine." So this is reminding us too that all our inner goodness that we're connecting with in the darkness, that we're actually reflecting this out to others. So connect more with your love, your ability to love yourself, to love everything you experience in the world, to love others. Reflect this love and light out to others, and you will also help them in dark times. You don't need to be a healer to do that. Moms, we can do this for our children. You can do this in any work environment to inspire the people that you're with. Anyone that we can relate to. Let's do it from this place of love and light that we can actually experience more when we have space to tap into it. So, and yeah, also that inner goodness, this is also an opportunity for us to connect in with our intuitive nature more and to really trust that. I'm feeling that needs to come through as well, that we can be sharing our thoughts and feelings as wisdom. We don't always need to have this external proof from an authority figure to make our information feel valuable to share to other people. When you are really tapped in and sharing this wisdom, people will know, people will feel it, and you will be making a huge impact in the world. And that's the moon. It's a pretty loaded card. So let me know if that resonates with you. And then we get to the Three of Pentacles. Each month, I love how these cards flow. It always ends on a good note. As I say that, I hope I'm not dooming the next month, but no, I really believe that this is true for most of us. We start with more intense energy. When we're mindful of it, when we're being shown a path, it usually ends up in wonderful things. So the Three of Pentacles, I'll show it to you again. I'll do a close-up of this as well. This card relates to finding your true work in the world. So again, this is bringing thoughts, ideas, all the things that you're excited about into form. It's showing you what you're fully aligned with, in what your life purpose is. So it can indicate an increase in creativity in your life, and show you that you have power to manifest. So pay attention to what you're good at. Pay attention to what you're excited about. Pay attention to what satisfies you, what makes you feel successful. It could be anything. Whatever it is that brings you joy, you can make a living out of it. And if you have any guilt about that, a lot of people have guilt about making money, even though it is essential. Like this is how we show our value in the world. There is nothing evil or yucky or manipulative about that. So if you have a story around that, that needs to be healed in order to experience this, to really value the work that you are bringing out into the world. So definitely process that as you journal. Are there any negative beliefs around the work that you are being guided to do and to make money out of it, make money off of it? So many of us healers have blocks around this. I have moved past it. I've definitely moved past it. Okay, what else does this card teach? So it may require us to do a lot of trial and error. That may be what you're feeling with this first card too. Like I said, I'll share my example. So I have been being called to find office space, to bring back my my in-person acupuncture work, also doing ear seeds in person, but still doing the holistic healing sessions with shamanic healing, energy healing. I'm going to be doing a high energy healing soon. I could do this remotely over Zoom, but I also want to have the opportunity to connect with people in person. So, and I shared about this in a video a couple of months ago, that I was feeling this pressure from everyone in the world, not everyone in the world, but in the community, a lot of people. I'm exaggerating a bit. But anyway, I was feeling all this pressure. It felt like it was from the world. And then I realized it was from other people. But as I sat with it more, with this idea, I became more comfortable with it. And I'm like, you know what? That would be exciting. So I waited for that to bubble up when it came from me, when it was pressure from me that, okay, you have this idea now, you're excited about it, let's start to do something about it. That's when I started to go out and look for spaces. But with this attitude of just curiosity, what's out there? Do I see myself in this place? And there were times where it felt disappointing. There were times where it felt a little long. So this is what February was all about, where I was looking at these spaces. There were some sleepless nights where I was starting to build up some anxiety around this, and then was like, wait a minute, you are getting too far along in the future. There's no pressure. Take your time. But now, funny enough, the timing does seem to be right. I'm actually considering one of two places that I've looked at. So yeah, there's more opportunities now that I can choose from. So I stayed with the energy. I was doing the work, trying not to get caught up with the anxiety. Of course, it does happen. But again, that's an indication that we need to redirect. All the no's to the office spaces that I looked at helped me figure out what it was that I really wanted. So we never, most of us never really want to jump on the first thing we see when it is something really big that we're committing to. We want to feel like we have choices, like we're not being pushed into it. And that anxiety will build if you are trying to make something work. So that's what was happening with me. I was like, the space is okay. I could make it work, but I don't know. And my husband was like, you're talking yourself into this. It's not the right space. And I loved this, that he was like, remember when this happened before? Like when you had office space before, you walked into it and you felt that it was the right place. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. So having that past experience too brought to light, reminded of it, helped me to align as well. So anyway, you might be seeing that things are coming together now. Even if you have tried to put them into action last month, again, the timing usually to bring things into being is not right in winter. It's usually the momentum of spring where we start to be able to manifest better, greater. And all that time planning did serve its purpose. So this card is also about building our skills. So even if you're not sure what your work in the world is, this could be a time trying things on, all these different roles. I learned so many healing modalities before I went to acupuncture school, and it was at that point where I was like, this is right, or Chinese medicine school. And now it's the energy healing that actually came from that, where I'm fine-tuning it, and the shamanic healing that's supporting that. That's really where my heart is. So anyway, enough about me. I'm just giving you an example that it's okay to try things on, not to find something like that. And it's a good time to start making arrangements, relationships, people who you can work with, network with, who might help you find your place in the work world too. And then once you find it, celebrate. Celebrate. All this work that you have done has been well worth it, and you should be congratulated. That excitement is going to build more, to bring in more abundance that we're searching for. Okay, so it's this cycle. of the excitement that brings all the work in, and then we do it and we celebrate and it builds. And it's like this. It's like the healing journey where we come around, but we're moving up at the same time. We're expanding, we're experiencing more. Okay, so job well done, growth, recognition. And then also, I feel compelled to also share that when we are making more money, that we know what we're doing with it. Are you going to be putting it into a vacation? It's always a good idea when you're at the beginning of a journey, a workplace journey, to reinvest in yourself. So reinvest in the skills that you want to bring out. It's always a good idea to have coaching, mentorship. So consider that too, that you are reinvesting in yourself, or you're reinvesting in self-care in the form of vacations or something else, not just sticking it in your savings account, not just paying off debt, but making sure that you are definitely paying yourself too, or putting that into some type of support system. Okay, I feel like this is complete. I always like to end with pulling a goddess card. And one moment, let me get the book that goes with this. Okay. So, feeling we need to shuffle first. Okay, we're going to ask for one goddess to come through who can support us on our journey through March, to connect in with the things that excite us, that can create more abundance, that can help us manifest our heart's desire. Okay, this is taking... I feel like there's a few that want to come out. If none come out soon, I will just pick one. So usually I like to wait for one to pop out. Okay. There. Ooh, okay. I don't think we've pulled this one yet. This is Bast. Play. A cat. So I will read the poem that goes with Bast. Play definitely supports excitement and keeps us out of anxiety, out of fear. Or Bast. It's more Bast, because this is Bast is an Egyptian cat-headed goddess. Okay. Bast. Play. I swirl and twirl, I hide and seek, romping and ranging, funning and frolicking. My opportunities for self-amusement are endless, and the pleasure that it gives me makes me purr. Life's challenges never stop me, for I know how to hold myself with play. Friends, this speaks for itself. This is so aligned with everything that we've talked about. I want to play. The energy of March supports that, so let this excitement build, reflect it out into the world so we can change the collective vibe. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we were all feeling like this? If you looked at everyone's faces and saw radiance from doing the work that they love, from following their excitement all the time. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know if you resonate with this message in the comments below. Remember, I do this every month, so if you enjoyed this, subscribe to this channel. Look forward to those videos when they come out the beginning of each month. I know this month I was a little late, Usually I like to do it before the month begins, but it's okay. The energy is still here. And in between these divination sessions, I try to put out weekly videos that will support us in our holistic health. So supporting body, heart, mind, and spirit. Definitely hit the notification bell as you subscribe so you're notified each time I upload a new video. Well wishes to you, friends, and much love as well.